What's up, YouTube? Brad Hoover from Rants here. Alright, so I just wanted to say before I get into this video, if you like our videos here on Rants, please like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. It helps our channel grow, and it also helps people find us on YouTube. And YouTube, let's face it, doesn't really support, regular content creators anymore. They're trying to push for, like, these bigger creators, these more mainstream media on YouTube now. So your support is very welcome if you will just, hit that like, subscribe, if you enjoy this video. But anyways, let's get right on into it. Dan Aykroyd. I enjoyed him on Saturday Night Live. I think he's an absolute legend when it comes to that. I feel like, him and Chevy Chase, I think were absolutely amazing, and Bill Murray and all of those guys were absolutely amazing. Late 70s, early 80s, or mid 80s, I guess you could say. They made some really great films. Ghostbusters being one of them, which is an all-time classic. I think one of the best movies ever made. At least one of the most enjoyable movies ever made, I would say. But Dan Aykroyd now is throwing his full support behind cancel culture, which absolutely and totally dismays me that a comedian would be behind such things. This whole, if something that someone else says to me that I should be able to ruin their life or take their livelihood away from them because I personally don't find them funny, or I don't, for whatever reasons, I don't like their political leanings, or someone doesn't like someone's sexuality, or someone doesn't like their religious affiliation, that they can then cancel that person. I think that's abhorrent. I don't really understand the view of how it cannot be. That's my personal opinion. Like, it destroys me inside when I see people that are like, you know what, we want to harm somebody because we don't like what they have to say. I feel like, if you have a bunch of ideas and you want to talk about progressive policies of any kind of way, if you really wanted true progressive policies, that you would allow all ideas to flow freely, and of course the more despicable ones aren't going to be heard and people aren't going to follow. They're going to pick the better ones, or the ones that they agree with the most. There's no reason for this cancel culture. Things like that kind of cancel itself out anyways. Not to say that bad things don't happen, and that people don't follow wrong, really terrible ideologies. Of course, we've seen that throughout history. But I'm talking about the overall mixture of human beings. Good human beings do good things. And I guess I'm of the belief that most human beings are good. They want to do good. They believe themselves to be good. I don't think the majority of us are racist, bigoted, hate-filled, or of any kind. I don't believe that. I haven't personally seen that. I've never, of course, we've all experienced little moments where we kind of doubt that in humans. But overall, that's not what we are as a whole. And I feel like people like Dan Aykroyd supporting cancel culture is really just vile to the extreme. But I want to get into this Bounding Into Comics article here, what he says. It says, former Saturday Night Live star and Ghostbusters franchise writer, actor Dan Aykroyd has thrown his full support behind cancel culture, recently claiming that comedy deemed offensive should be rightly canceled for its hurtfulness. Its hurtfulness. It should be canceled. He says, he goes on to say, there is
thanks to Realtor.com's home size filter.
Hold on one second. He goes on to say, there is enough range in humor where you don't have to go scatological, and you don't have to go pulling any divisive cards to get a laugh, said the actor in a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter. Which, is absolutely ridiculous. George Carlin comes to mind. George Carlin, I remember when people on the left used to really support him because he really got under those conservatives' skin. He really, he told things as it was, and he told it in a really offensive manner. Back in the day, conservatives didn't really go for that. They were more on the cancel culture kind of side. So I'm going to go so far to call everyone a hypocrite when it comes to this, because each side really has been on it. I just feel like the left has really done it to a more extreme, though, than what the right ever could have imagined doing it. But I just feel like the idea that you don't have to be divisive to be funny, it makes sense to a certain extent, but the idea that, if you go there, that therefore you should be canceled is a little bit ridiculous from his part. Because, you know what, to be honest, it's kind of almost progressed, evolved humanity forward in being offended by things and learning how to deal with being offended by that, and maybe adapting some of the more comical versions of these kind of ludicrous things that we're upset about into our culture, and being like, you know what, that is kind of actually stupid that I was offended by that in the first place. Maybe I should not try to cancel it. That has always helped humanity evolve in a lot of ways. So the idea where he's talking about divisiveness, you don't have to go there. I feel like that's the best comedy in a lot of different ways. The ones that push the limit. But it goes on to say, there is so much in the world to comment on that is outside the realm of offensiveness. As a writer, you can go to other areas and have successful creative endeavors. Scatological humor is fun. It's easy laughs. He then asserted, but there is more intelligent writing that can happen if you stay away from the offensive material that should be rightly canceled for its hurtfulness. Who can be the subject of an impression today? That's an area of discussion. I feel like no one should be off limits. I cannot believe a comedian would even contemplate the idea that there's just certain people that you just shouldn't make fun of. I think that's ridiculous. Can I do my James Bond imitation? He continued. He was one of my best friends. I do his voice pretty good, but maybe I shouldn't anymore. Are you kidding me? It says, interestingly, a few years ago, Aykroyd was on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, where he not only sang one of Brown's all-time classic tunes, I'll Go Crazy, performed with assistance from blues legend Bobby Rush, but he also shared an anecdote in which he did an impression of his friend. The anecdote itself was not in any imaginable way a dig at Brown, but according to Aykroyd, the impression could be deemed offensive simply because Brown was a black man and he is not. I just hate this cancel culture and people thinking too much into something. You want to talk about, now just flat out say it, the people that were always going on about race, that's racist. That's racist. That all they see is race. All they see is someone else's race. Well, what is the difference between those people that are doing it now and the people that did it back in the 1950s? I don't really see that much of a difference. I feel like anybody that is so focused on the melanin in someone's skin color is a pretty stupid person all the way around. Like, there's so much more to human beings than the color of our skin. And the idea that they focus so much on this but tell you that they're anti-racist is ridiculous. That's the most racist thing that anyone could say. That, I can't really comment on something, or I can't really, make fun of or sing a song of a black man because I'm not black. That's ridiculous. I can't like rap music because I'm not black. I don't understand it. I don't belong there. Who says these things? I mean, by itself, that sounds pretty racist. If you put it in any other category than that, if you turn it around, it sounds incredibly racist. It feels racist that people like Aykroyd actually believe this stuff. But anyways, he goes on to state Aykroyd didn't specify whether his stance on offensive material means that he'll refrain from doing impressions of Brown or singing any more of his late friend's discography, but going by his woke logic. Um, you know what? I kind of feel like if you follow this route, you're going down a route that you're not going to be able to say or do anything. Because you're going to be afraid of offending someone. Because look, people get offended by anything the other side says anymore. It doesn't even matter if it's offensive or not. They get offended by it because they just don't like that person. Anything that comes out of that person's mouth is offensive to them. That's not critical thinking. That is hate to hate. And that gets us nowhere as a society. I feel terrible that Dan Aykroyd feels this way. He's a legend, a comedy legend, and I just feel like he's just bought into the woke nonsense that really is setting us back as a species. It's just humans in general. It's setting us back. It's making us think too much about really ridiculous things. I mean, we're focusing on we're focusing over here in America. We're focusing on, who should go in and out of bathrooms, while China is focusing on their economy and their their warfare and things that they can build to be the superpower. And here, I feel like we're just stuck on really stupid issues that you can have the conversation about them, but the idea that they're the main focus is just absolutely and totally ridiculous on my part. But yeah, Dan Aykroyd, I'm very disappointed in you. But guys, let me know what y'all think. Are y'all disappointed too? I mean, it's sad that Dan Aykroyd has gone down this woke logic route. But hey, you know what? That's Hollywood. So while it hurts, it's not unexpected. But anyways, guys, let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching. Y'all take care.